Hello there, and thanks for joining us for this edition of City Talk. I'm Phyllis Jackson. Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms, flanked by members of City Council, held a signing ceremony for the creation of a new Inspector General office for the City of Atlanta. The City Council unanimously approved the legislation that would establish the roles and responsibilities of the new office. Mayor Bottoms issued an executive order earlier this year that called for the creation of an independent office that could help prevent corruption. That recommendation stemmed from the mayor's task force for the promotion of public trust.
We take ethics and transparency very seriously inside of City Hall, and we will continue to do the work of the people whom we have been sent here to serve.
I think the citizens of the city should be happy to know that the council, working along with the administration, have been able to hammer out an Inspector General for the City of Atlanta, which will take us in another direction, being able to be transparent, ethical, and accountable.
The city's new Inspector General will be selected by an independent board. Do you want to keep up with the city's promise to increase affordable housing? Well, now there's an online tool for that. Mayor Bottoms recently announced the Atlanta Housing Affordability Tracker. The dashboard is still in a testing phase, but it will be updated on a quarterly basis. The mayor has a goal to invest $1 billion in affordable housing through preservation and the creation of new units. Atlanta City Council member Joyce Shepard joined with Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms and a host of city officials to celebrate the first phase of construction for the Atlanta Beltline's South Side Trail West. Among other features, the 14-foot wide concrete trail will include lights and security cameras, an ADA accessible ramp, and a pedestrian crossing with a signal at Metropolitan Parkway.
It's not just about economic development, it's about the fact that we will have a beautiful trail, biking, walking, just making our community healthy, lifting our community, and making it a generator of other things to come.
Councilmember Shepard says the trail will connect the Capitol View Manor, and Pittsburgh communities. Construction is expected to be completed within the next 12 months. Mayor Bottoms' action plan for safer streets is showing results. The city released a report on the effectiveness of 10th Street's temporary pop-up bike lane. We first brought you that story in October. 73% of survey respondents said they felt safer while using the pop-up lane. That includes pedestrians, scooter riders, and bicyclists. The city is looking to triple protected bike lanes by next year, while also making safety improvements to over 20 miles of streets. A new community mural called The Seeds That Are Planted is unveiled in District 3. Atlanta City Council member Antonio Brown says the artwork, which honors former City Council member Ivory Lee Young Jr. and civil rights activist Reverend Joseph E. Boone, will serve as a sense of pride and inspiration. He shares more in my own words.
It's definitely the largest mural in District 3. It's over 5,000 square feet. This was just an amazing opportunity to not just beautify a community, but bring a community together. And just the depiction of the seeds that are planted, it was just an incredible opportunity to speak to the legacy of two incredible men, Councilmember Young and the Reverend Joseph E. Boone. So the project took us about 3 months to put together and finish painting. The painting aspect took about a month to do. And I mean, we went through the trials and tribulations of doing an art mural in the winter, you know, in a busy street like Joseph E. Boone with construction happening. It was amazing to have, you know, Alethea Boone here, as well as Reverend Shalice Young, to be able to be recognized and to see their husbands honored in a way such as this. I believe this mural will inspire generations to come. You know, I was out here when the mural was being put together, and 4 little young boys, they looked at me and said, "Who is that on the wall?" And it really set the stage of how powerful an art mural like this is, and the story that we're capable of telling about who we represent within this depiction. Special day for District 3. For me, this is the beginning of restoring hope and prosperity back into a community that's felt forgotten for so long. And I believe the message that we heard today was so powerful, and it spoke to us being the forces of change within our very own communities.
Still to come on City Talk, Run DMC's Reverend Run and his lovely wife Justine stop by City Hall to share their secret of a lasting marriage. But first, before you know it, high school graduation will be upon us. Councilmember Andre Dickens wants students to be prepared for the next step. We'll have a look at his annual college fair when City Talk comes back.
Can one girl in a small town, an architect in a major city, and a suburban high school coach shape the future of the United States? Yes, they can. Because every 10 years, the census gives us that power. You can shape your future by responding to the 2020 census. Where do we need new roads to make our lives easier? Where will new school programs help our children thrive? Where could a new health clinic benefit neighborhoods? The 2020 census will inform these decisions and shape how billions of dollars will be distributed to communities like yours each year. And in 2020, you can respond to the census online, by phone, or by mail. It's easy, safe, and important. Make sure you and everyone you know is counted. Now is the time for you to get involved. Your community needs you. Together, we can educate and excite, inspire and make sure every voice is heard. Together, we can shape our future.
Traveling can be hectic, so we've made it rewarding with the new ATL Rewards program. Earn extra points for parking, dining, or shopping at the airport. It's easy. Simply register, purchase, and redeem. When you register your debit or credit card at ATL.com or text FlyATL to 82257, you'll begin earning points towards amazing rewards. Once enrolled, collect points automatically whether parking, dining or shopping, or at participating attractions, local and throughout the region. Finally, redeem your points from a range of options, including cash back, airline miles, hotel stays, and more. Treating yourself has never been easier. Simply register, purchase, and redeem. Let travel reward you with the ATL Rewards program.
The city of Atlanta, a place where no one is left behind. Watch as lives are transformed daily, covering issues that matter. ATL 26, One Atlanta.
Atlanta City Council member Andre Dickens takes part in the 10th annual I Am College Bound Fair. It's all about getting families ready for college.
The parents are just walking around here beaming and smiling today because they are getting so much of a wealth of knowledge about scholarships, about college, about tuition, about how to manage finances for college, and to get through that college application process.
I am super excited that we have an opportunity to really continue educating families about their ability to go to college debt-free.
There's scholarship money out there and there's other resources, and thinking about how do I compete for these scholarships. All of those skill building opportunities are here at this event.
Officials with the I Am College Bound Fair say the goal is to remove the barriers to college access. If you would like more information on the program, you can go to unitedwayatlanta.org. Atlanta City Council member J.P. Madzakite joins with Hands on Atlanta for a cleanup at Chastain Park. It was part of the MLK Jr. Day of Service.
One of the things that we're doing today is cleaning up an area around a new building that is going to be the headquarters of the Conservancy. Almost a year ago exactly, their prior building burned down. And so we're pitching in today to sort of do a barn raising, if you will, to help the Conservancy get their operations center back in shape.
Nearly 50 volunteers took part in the service project. A new clinic focused on integrated health care opens in District 5. Atlanta-based Chris 180 partners with Mercy Care to open the facility at Flat Shoals and I-20. The clinic was established to reduce the barriers that prevent access to quality health care.
Chris 180 is an amazing facility. It's been focused for years on helping teens who are aging out of the foster care system. And so they've been building resources, they have housing, and now to have this integrated health system, I think this is the first in District 5. I'm so proud of Chris 180 and all that they do to help our youth.
It's so important to have a healthcare option and a counseling option that work as partners together to be able to treat and provide services to the whole person.
We work off a sliding fee scale for our patients. We meet them where they're at financially, and we do that with each and every patient.
The clinic will provide primary care, women's services, breast and cervical cancer screening, HIV testing, and a therapist for mental health needs. Funding for the clinic was provided through Chris 180's Capital campaign. Atlanta City Council member Dustin Hillis takes a little time out to host a luncheon and play a game of bingo with some Atlanta seniors.
First is N38.
He stopped by the Remington, District 9's newest senior living facility, where he also got a chance to hear from residents about issues that concern them the most.
We hear a lot about city infrastructure, getting our streets resurfaced, getting more sidewalks that are ADA compliant, getting benches and shelters at our MARTA stops here in the area. So those are some of the main things that we have heard about this morning.
Councilmember Hillis tells us he will continue making rounds to other senior living facilities to hear from residents. Atlanta City Councilmember Andrea Boone joins forces with the city's Human Resources Department for a Hooked on Books on Love. Old school love, that is. Run DMC's Rev Run and his wife, Justine, stopped by Atlanta City Hall to share some advice from their newly released book, Old School Love.
There's a quote that I like. Love is not so much looking in each other's eyes, but it's looking in the same direction. And the Bible says, how can two walk together unless they agree? So it's really about being on the same page. And then another great takeaway, selfless instead of being selfish.
The couple is celebrating 25 years of wedded bliss. Councilmember Boone presented the couple with a proclamation from the council. The world mourned the loss of basketball legend and former LA Laker Kobe Bryant when the helicopter he was riding in crashed into a California hillside. Bryant, along with his daughter Gianna and 7 others, were all killed on their way to a youth basketball tournament. Here in Atlanta, there was an outpouring of support for the 9 victims. One man expressed his feelings the best way he knew how, through art. Keith Whitney has more.
It is overcast with a chill in the air, but in the old 4th Ward on the Beltline, people are doing what they do, getting outside and enjoying some free time, though many are doing it with a heavy heart in the wake of the Kobe Bryant tragedy.
Just getting the sketch just right is probably the hardest thing for me.
Tucked away behind the main wall near the skate park, Atlanta artist Era is painting his memorial for the Mamba.
Like, even though he was like a fierce competitor, how he conducted himself with fans, it's just absolutely tragic because he's not much older than I am.
The artist, who asked to remain anonymous, says Bryant's reputation as one of the greatest of all time in the NBA made him someone you loved and even hated at the same time.
I always loved to hate the guy, and the thing is, it's when he was gone, it was like, you lost that villain. He was such a character. I only hated him because he wasn't on my team.
Several people stopped by to watch and admire the work as the mural came to life, out of a spray can no less.
I'd rather people get some sort of response out of it than nothing at all. Even if they just come by and take a look, it's always appreciated.
Era says compounding the tragedy was the loss of Bryant's young daughter Gigi, who was coming into her own as a basketball player.
It's just unfortunate that you'll never get a chance to see what he and his daughter got to do, I feel like he was coaching her up with the same intensity that he brought to the court, right there, that's just another great example of parenting.
The black and white portrait stands in stark contrast to the avalanche of colors typically found here. But that simplicity only enhances the power of the painting to honor a legend for a life well lived, despite being cut so short. For the City of Atlanta Storyboard, I'm Keith Whitney.
Thank you so much for joining us for this edition of City Talk. We'll see you next time.